So not sure if you can tell it on the camera, but I put my fertilizer, my winterizer down like, I don't know, it's been about a week ago. And man, this stuff is already darkening up and getting that, you know, classic bluegrass color, that really dark green kind of bluish tint color. It is looking pretty good. Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. I hope you're having a great day today. And this video is going to be kind of like a two-part deal. I'll talk about the mowing first, then we'll get into the big announcement, because I am absolutely pumped up. I'm stoked about it. I cannot wait to share it with you. So when do you know it's time to quit mowing? You know, that's going to be kind of different for different folks around the country, depending on where you live. You guys far north, your mowing's probably shut down and been shut down for a little while now. Down south, you might be still mowing pretty routinely. We're kind of in the transition zone in North Carolina, and kind of right in the middle of the country, you know, where it's kind of technically winter or getting there, late fall, that kind of time frame. Leaves on my maple trees are almost done falling. You can see the color in the background of the trees, so that'll kind of give you a good idea of the time of the year that we're in. And for me personally, my fescue around the house right there, I'm cutting it every 7 to 10 days. You know, it's not really growing super fast, but it hadn't stopped growing. It's just kind of in between, kind of like a slow crawl. So I'm cutting it at 4 inches, and I'll let it get up around 4.5, 5 inches tall before I mow it. We did have our first frost the other day. Actually, we had 2 frosts back to back. They were really hard, heavy frost. And obviously that's gonna shut down the grass or start to begin to slow it down. And that's kind of my indicator of when I know that, hey, the mowing's about to be over, is when we get that first frost. And you know, that could work for anybody around the country, anywhere. You get that first frost, things are going to begin to slow down. You know, the daylight hours get much shorter. You know, nowhere near as much photosynthesis taking place in the plant, so naturally the plant isn't going to grow as fast. The ground temperatures are going down. So, and of course, the most obvious thing would be when the grass quits growing. And you'll just kind of know, hey, there's no need to mow anymore. Now back here with my bluegrass, I'm kind of trying to still grow it in, so I'm actually mowing it considerably more. I'm about every 3rd day now. Of course, I put my winterizer down, and I'm on about every 2 weeks now on my spoon feeding. You know, I got a good heavy granular down. I'm still doing a little bit of foliar with a 505, just to kind of entice it just a little bit extra, because the more I can mow it, the more it'll grow, the better it will fill in, and the quicker it's going to fill in. Still no germination on those spots you saw me fix the other day. It just hadn't been long ago. I mean, I just did that 6 days ago, maybe 7 days ago, something like that. So it's just nothing's going on there yet. So what about from now until first of the year? It is November 11th right now today. And again, a lot of you far north, this isn't going to apply to you, because you know, you guys will get cold and you guys will stay there, and it'll just be freezing cold, you know, all winter. And I'm sorry that you have to deal with that, but it is what it is. And you know, your mowing season's over. You know, it's just that simple. We kind of have a little bit different winter. I mean, today it was 75 degrees today, and the next 2 weeks is supposed to be super good weather. So, you know, am I gonna have to mow the grass anymore? Absolutely I am, because the weather dictates that. I've got good fertilization in the ground, still got my irrigation going so I can water as I need to. So that means the grass is gonna grow. No, it's not gonna grow as fast as it normally does in the spring or the summer or early fall, but it will grow a little bit. The last thing I wanna do is get into the spring of next year and my grass be this deep, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I kind of keep an eye on it and keep it cut a little bit here and there. On a typical year, the month of November, I might mow it 2 times. In a typical year for North Carolina, in the month of December, I might mow it once. Typical year for January, typically I don't mow it. February, might mow it once. So you kind of see where I'm going with that. You know, at the end of the day, if you just use common sense, I mean, knowing when to stop mowing, it really isn't, you know, that hard to figure it out. So for about a year now, close to a year, I've had something on my heart, on my mind, weighing on me very heavily. And that is, I wanted to use my platform, my YouTube channel. You know, I got 130 some thousand subscribers, about 30 some thousand on Instagram. So, you know, I got a pretty good sized audience in my opinion. Very humbled by that, very thankful to you guys for that. Something I've been praying about, asking God to open up the right door for me to do something more. As you know, as I was thinking about it, trying to figure out how can I marry what I do, which is lawn care, and helping out people. How can I put those two together? And the more I thought about it, you know, I wanted to include veterans. I'm very passionate about my country, about my freedom. I'm very passionate about loving on veterans and showing veterans that, hey, people out here, you know, people in the country actually do love you and appreciate you and respect you for what you've done. The same goes for law enforcement as well. And so when I took all that and kind of just rolled it up and put it in a bag and shook it up, what come out of that bag was Mission GCI. Now, I don't have all the intricate, fine details of what this is going to look like, but I do have the overarching theme, and I want to kind of share that with you today. So we're getting a page set up on the website, kind of a landing page to where you or anybody else watching can go to the page and nominate a disabled veteran or a disabled law enforcement officer. And we're going to start with those two groups of folks, see how it does. And if it goes well enough, if it blows up like I'm wanting it to, we can expand that to more people or different groups of people like EMS, firemen, active military, active law enforcement. So we're going to start there and see what happens. Honestly, I'll just share my heart with you. I want this to blow up and become like a mainstream TV show. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm praying for. And obviously, you know, it's not what I want, but it's what God wants to do with this. As you know, depends on what happens or where it ends up going. So we'll see. But you know, sky's the limit on this for me. You know, you'll nominate one of these folks, and then I'm going to have a team that will sit down and go through all the nominations. And what we're going to be looking for is, like I said, a disabled veteran, disabled law enforcement officer that needs work done around their house. I don't care if it's planting grass seed. I don't care if it's mowing. I don't care if it's bush hogging. I don't care if it's a gravel driveway that needs reconditioning. I don't care what the scope of work is. There just needs to be a need. And obviously, you guys out there are going to know a lot of people because it's a lot of you and it's one of me. So we're going to be counting on you guys to do the nominations. And once me and my team sit down and we figure out, hey, let's go to Johnny's house. And Johnny is a disabled Air Force veteran, and Johnny has a gravel driveway that's in really rough shape and he just can't do anything with it. And I'll pack up, go to that person's home. I'll be able to love on them a little bit, you know, get to know the person more, actually do the work for them, and you know, just kind of show them some love. We got veterans that have served our country and given everything they have so that you and I can do what we do on a day-to-day basis. And so it's just going to be a way for me to kind of return thanks to them. And as a part of this, I have kind of officially partnered with Ventrac. I do want you to know that there's zero money involved. I was very blunt and very straightforward with them. I don't want any money from them. If they tried to give it to me, I wouldn't accept it. But how they are going to fit into this is, let's say I have a disabled law enforcement that has a field that needs bush hogging. Let's just say that's what the example is, and let's say it's in northern Ohio. Well, it doesn't make sense for me to load up all of my equipment, my Ventrac, and drag a 20-foot enclosed trailer all the way to northern Ohio. So when these situations like this happen, they're going to meet me on site and provide the equipment. Now, when we get Mission GCI jobs around here locally, or if I go south from here, obviously I'm gonna load up my Ventrac and my equipment, and I'm gonna put it in the trailer, and I'll just drive to the location myself. Now, you are gonna be a part of this as well. Hopefully some of you are. This is some of the fine details I need to work out, but when we do a Mission GCI job in your neck of the woods, I want you to come help me do the job and help the veteran or the law enforcement officer. Other YouTube channels, if I'm going to be in an area where there's a known YouTuber there or whatever, we're going to invite them too and try to get them involved so they can help out as well. So like I said, it'll be a lot of pre-posting, like, hey, I'm going here these dates, and we'll figure out a way to communicate and get a time to meet at the place and that kind of thing. So still a lot of details to work out, because it's going to be a lot of moving parts to this. We're going to try to jump on this in the spring and launch it and have everything in order, all our ducks in a row, so that we can move forward with it spring 2022. So the big picture is, I need disabled veterans and disabled law enforcement to start. Of course, we'll move into other groups of folks once we get moving good. And I'm going to be traveling the country, show up on site with either my Ventrac or with a Ventrac that Ventrac supplies me with, depending on where I'm at in the country. And we're going to do work, and we're going to film it. Those videos will be on this YouTube channel, and I'm hoping for the best. I'm really, really excited about it. Cannot wait to get this going. It's not just going to be about me showing you how to do a job with a tractor. That's not what it's going to be about. Yes, in the videos you'll see that, and I might talk about the work a little bit, but my main concern is that you meet this individual and you get to know this individual. I'm going to kind of have a set script planned out with some questions that we can ask these folks, and they'll be on camera, if they want to. I want you to learn their backstory, what they did, how did they serve the country, and that kind of thing. So it's not necessarily going to be about, hey, how do you seed a yard with an aerator? I got tons of videos on that. You can go watch them any day. But what I don't have is one-on-one personal conversations with veterans that have served us. And that's what I want to present to you, and that's what I want to show to you throughout these videos. So funding, anytime you do something like this, it takes money to do it, right? So who's going to pay for all this? Well, I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to use the GCI Turf Academy, which is my online business. That's going to be the sole main funding for me to travel, put gas in the truck, gas in the Ventrac, and all that kind of thing, eat, hotel room, whatever. So it's going to be 100% funded by me. I will let you know that I am currently seeking a sponsorship from Ford. I'm actually trying to get a truck to be able to use to pull my trailer around the country. I have no idea where that's going to go. Might work, might not. I don't care if it's a Chevy or a Ford. The main reason I want to even approach that is so I don't run the miles up on my own personal truck. So Chevy, Ford, if you're watching this, holler at me. Shoot me an email, and maybe we can work something out. I have talked with Echo. I've used Echo equipment for about 20 years now, and simply I've asked them, would they be willing to provide a blower and stick edger and a string trimmer, and maybe a set of hedge trimmers. That's it. I'm super pumped up. Cannot wait to get this rolling over the course of the winter. I'll be really working hard on the fine details to get this thing laid out in a way that's kind of doable for me. You know, obviously I still have a family. I'm not going to be gone all the time. Like I said, I will be traveling some, and to make this happen. As far as my videos here on this channel, none of that's going to change. You might not see quite as many, obviously, because I'll be on the road doing other things, but as far as, you know, showing you how to mow stripes and fertilize grass and weed control and all that, you know, none of that's going to change. The GCI Turf Academy, the website, the online thing, none of that's going to change. I'm hoping and praying it continues to grow, because like I said, that's what's actually going to be funding me to go do this. So hey, there you go. I've been about to bust to tell you guys this, and comment below. Let me know what you think. As always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch, and I'll check you later.